Okay, here's Trail 47. For those of you that were wondering where the loops are, these denote bridges, little handmade dock bridges. Anything in black is both ways. If it's in green, you're usually traveling east. Red is west. This little black diamond institutes that it's very technical in that area. And when you come to a fork in the road, always stay to the right. The trail markers early on were just a regular 47, then we incorporated a T into the 47, and now we have a trail 47. And over in the Dearborn trails, it is Dearborn Trail 247, which is actually a Roman numeral 2 with the 47 coming off of it. So from my standpoint, up at, this is Hines Drive here, Nankin Lake, and just past that is the Stark Road Walk Bridge. So if you cross that, you come up to this little trail on your left, and there's a big huge rock, and you take that down. It's a little technical back here, nice little hill climb. Comes back up to the main trail, follows the river all the way down to the Ann Arbor Trail parking lot. From there you would cross the parking lot to another parking lot and go down the hill all the way to the river. Back there you'll find a nice little trail that has a kick-ass little test hill climb. Come back up on that, and then you want to get back on Ann Arbor Trail and follow that to Hines Drive bike path. This is a huge hammer lane. Staying on the bike path for probably 3/4 of a mile. Just past the Nankin Mills parking lot, there's a bridge that crosses the middle branch of the Mighty Rouge. Take that, and there's all kinds of trails here. You want to stay straight, and after about a couple hundred yards there's a trail that comes in to the right, and it goes up to the old Farmington Road that no longer crosses Hines Drive. Take that for about 100 yards and a trail comes in on the left, and this is a nice fun kind of downhill long fast area. It's one of the few in the woods hammer lanes and it takes you back out to the main path. Stay to the right there. You're back on this old road, and you take that all the way down to the dog park. Just past the park, stay next to the fence, and right at the back of the fence you'll see that there's a clearing, and take that through to a trail that comes up, and if you go right you'll come up to Cowan Road, but just before that hang a left. It's an old culvert that you're riding on top of, and this is a technical little section. It's a lot of fun. A couple of hill climbs back here. It basically just follows the river. A few hill climbs here and there, and it takes you out by Merriman Road. And there's a grassy section that you have to come in, and there's a bike path here that comes up to Merriman. There's the Merriman Road where it comes into Hines Drive, but you get back on the bike path and you take that probably, I don't know, 400 yards, and there's a bridge that goes over the river, and just before the bridge there's a wooden fence. You hang a right down there and you come up to another bridge, cross that bridge and start taking this trail up to the apartments, but before you leave this trail hang a left, and it stays on top of the ridge line, and you follow that. There's a little loop that comes off to the right with a kick-ass downhill and a little bridge and a kick-ass uphill climb. Follow that around, and you're back up on the sidewalk behind the apartments. You're riding next to the pool, and just as you come back to the first apartment there's a little trail that goes in on the left. Follow that maybe 100 yards and then it splits off. Stay to the right. There's some nice little sinkholes and some fun stuff to do back here, and that takes you back up to the fence line, and then you're onto the grassy knoll, which is a probably half-mile stretch of, it seems like you're in people's backyards, but you're not, because the fence line is their backyards and this is all state property, so you're allowed to ride there and just do it. And just past the last house, the last fence, there's a trail that goes in and down, and then that follows the river underneath Middlebelt Road, and you follow it, and there's a little wooden bridge there that I built, and then there's a tremendous hill climb, and if you turn right you'll go into Kroger, but you want to stay left, and then the trail goes over and it splits off again. Stay high on the ridge and follow it around to your right, and you're going to come up to an old road that has been since closed down. This bridge here is no longer there, so this road is abandoned, but it's a nice hammer lane, and it's probably almost a mile. and it's 2-track, and there's some sand, and then when you get up near the end it turns into unused area, which is mostly just grass, but they keep it cleared, and this takes you up to Inkster Road. You have to go around the fence, and that'll get you out to the Inkster Road. From there you cross Inkster. There's an old gauging station. Take that trail just past the gauging station, and you'll find that 2 trails come in, and an old man named Stanley lives right about here, and he maintains this entire section back here. Walks it once or twice a day with him or himself or his dog, his friends, but he keeps it pretty clear, and you can kind of get lost back here. But again, you always want to try to stay to the right on everything. There's a nice little downhill off camber section here that loops you back around, and just stay on it. Stay to the right, and you're going to come up to the golf course. I'm not sure whose property it is, but you can use the golf course bridge here, hang an immediate left, and try to stay right next to the river. Cleared a little trail there. There's a little break in the fence. You can get through and out back onto Hines Drive's bike path. From here through past the golf course, this bike path turns it from Trail 47 to the left to Trail 247 to the right, or Dearborn Trails, which Kevin and Richard and many others have been working on. We're still trying to connect all of them so that we have one long. So as you're coming the last house, you want to stay to the right. You can almost see a straight line that leads you down this trail, and this is just a dog walker's trail. It stays right next to the river. It's a 2-way trail. We haven't done much work here yet. It's already been cleared. We don't have to do much to it. You're going to come up to a footbridge that crosses. I've taken this back almost to Telegraph Road, but have not completed that yet. Hopefully in the future. So in the meantime, stay on the bike path and just hammer it all the way past Telegraph, underneath Warren, until you come up to Outer Drive. When you get to Outer Drive, about 200 yards past it is the old mill race, and if you just stay left of the mill race, there's a trail that comes in, and it too follows the river. Stay right all the way next to the river, and we completed this last year. It's a nice little flat all-out section. Probably take you about 8 minutes to ride it, but it's nice to be able to add that extra 3-mile section back there. So then when you get where this comes to the Hines Drive area, you have to go up on the Hines, cross the bridge, and go back, and now you're on the south side of the river. From here there's a trail. It splits off. Stay to the right. Just keep following it around. Stay to the right at all the loops. It'll take you underneath Ford Road. When you come underneath Ford Road, there's a trail that kind of follows Ford Road back to the bike path. Get on that just a little bit, and then the trail jets off again, and it comes down and around to the golf course fence line. The golf course fence, now we're into the Dearborn Trails, and there are a few nice trails back here. It's a very technical terrain park that Richard has worked on. There's a lot to do back here in this whole area. Follow it through, and you're going to come up to the Brady Street Church and the parking lot, and there's 2 nice trails back there, but at one point you have to come up and get back on Brady Street. When you come to Cherry Hill, or yeah, I guess it's Cherry Hill, it dead ends. You go just this side and down underneath the bridge, and that'll get you onto the Ford Field. It is the wood chip trail. There's a couple of bridges where you can cross. Either one will take you just past the last pavilion by the tennis courts. Beyond there there's a trail that follows the river, and that's been there for quite some time, that Kevin Donaldson's been maintaining. And then you go across Military. Military will take you on this semi-old existing trail that was just cleared a year ago, but kind of always been there, and they'll take you up to the Kroger parking lot. From there, last spring, a year ago spring, we cleared a new section that brings you back. It's good, really a lot of fun riding back here, but there's a couple of 2-way areas like